Good morning, distinguished professor, examiner, and fellow scholar. My name is Akmal. I'm a PhD student from Trisakti University, Jakarta, Indonesia. And I'm also central bank employee as well. Thank you for the opportunity to present my research at the University of Ottawa. It's a great honor for me to share this study with a focus on dynamic of banking asset growth in Indonesia, especially the context of regulatory changes. The title of my presentation or my paper are short and long run determinant of banking asset growth in Indonesia and empirical analysis using factor error correction model approach. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is my table of contents, my presentation. There are 4 parts of them. First part talk about the introduction, literature review, and the last part we share you about the conclusion and recommendation. Okay, we start. Let's start now. By embracing of important of banking institution, banks serve as financial intermediaries between a surplus unit and deficit sector unit to help channel fund into productive investment. This role is crucial in driving economic growth, especially through credit expansion that stimulates a production and also services. Bank performance itself is shaped by both internal and external factors. Internally, it depends on management quality, risk control, capital strength, and operation efficiency. And external side, macroeconomic conditions such as inflation, exchange rate, and interest rate play a major role. This understanding how these factors affect banking growth, especially across a different regulatory period, is a central of the study. This literature survey. Before we talk about literature survey, some of focus of the presentation focus on analyzing Indonesian banking data from 2040 to 2021 during shifting from Buku period and KBMI period. Buku period are categorized of bank based on activity, and KBMI category is the bank based on categories of core of capital. The objective of paper of study is identifying key driver of asset growth first, and then we evaluating the impact of internal such as ROA, NIM, CAR, and also external such as inflation, GDP, exchange rate factor. And the third step, we comparing short and long run effect in buku categories, again, KBMI categories period. And also the last we examining the changes post KBMI. The analysis use factor error correction model on the data from 95 bank in Indonesia to explore this dynamic relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to talk about the literature. The literature is the paper based on public policy and banking theory. Dye and Stern define the policy is intentionally and authoritative government action, while Heffernan and Indonesian regulatory see bank as a financial intermediary. in empirical study side show that financial ratio such as CAR, LDR, BOPO, NPL, and macroeconomic factors such as inflation, interest rate, exchange rate, significant affect profitability and banking growth. As supported by the other authors such as Fatmasari, Iladini, Agustina, and Ahmad et al., he said that FHM offered the advantage to capture a dynamic adjustment in the panel and the time series data. This model is very special, useful when assessing how short-term fluctuation reconcile with the long-term equilibrium condition in the banking sector. Given the interplay between regulatory regime, profitability metric, and macroeconomic shock in Indonesian banking environment, FLCM is a methodological appropriate choice to evaluate the system behavior over the time. Now we are going to the methodology. This is use the monthly data for all 95 commercial bank in Indonesia, categorized under both Buku and KBMI framework. Key internal variables include the credit quality, efficiency, liquidity, profitability, and capitalization. While external variables include the GDP, inflation, BI rate, exchange rate, and so on. This methodology follow rigorous econometric procedure. IDF tests confirm that most variables become stationary in the first differencing, while Johannes co-integration test revealed long-run relationship, validating the use of FHCM. Additionally, we use impulse response function at n variant decomposition to interpret the dynamic interaction and to find how long the recovery of the after the shock of the variable. Now we are going to the specific model. The methodology follow rigorous procedure as we said you before. Now we are going to the important thing about the result. Based on the result, on this slide, we present the comparative summary of how internal bank indicator influence the total asset growth during the Buku and KBMI period based on our FECM estimation. This slide compares the impact of internal bank indication on asset growth during Buku and KMBI categorized period using FECM. In short run, Buku categories asset growth was influenced mainly by BOPO and LDR, while in KBM category, C focus to ROA, CAR, CCR, and LR. It is indicating the stronger emphasis on stability and liquidity. In the long run, Buku categories show limited influence, only NPL and NIM, whereas KBMI category revealed broader significant across almost all variable significant influence the bank asset. Suggesting improved internal governance and sustainability growth under the KBMI framework. We concluded the KBMI regime enhance the structural robustness and provide a more comprehensive platform for stability of banking asset growth. Now we are going to the others indicator. This slide talk about the slide highlight the impact of macroeconomic and interest rate variable on bank asset growth. The previous slide, we talk about the banking specification indicator. Now we are talk about the macro and interest rate variable on asset growth. In the short run, here we said in the slide external factors such as inflation, interest rate, GDP had no significant impact to asset growth under both Buku and KBMI. However, in the long run, all of variables become significant, that indicating that macroeconomic stability is crucial for sustainable banking asset growth. In short, while bank may insult the macro shock in short, while bank might be insulted from macro shock in the short term, the run stability asset growth depend heavily on consider of macroeconomic management. Now we others the others evaluation. We use also ERF. ERF is impulse response function. Impulse response function analysis so that during Buku categories, asset response to the shock from variable like NPL, ROA, LDR, and BOPO recover after 10 to 24 months. In KBMI, macro variable like inflation and deposit rate are more stable. True, ROA and NPL remain vulnerable. This indicate that the stronger long-term resilience under KBMI emphasizes the need for sound and risk management. As the conclusion, overall, the ERF validate that the KBMI regime provide the improved long-term resilience to shock, characterized by quicker stabilization and reduced valuation for macroeconomic exposure. However, continued attention in the need for the bank internal factor like ROA and NPL, which remain the most sensitive to disturbance. This highlight the need for adaptive risk management and capital planning. Now we are going to the other part. We talk about the implication. The implication of the research of the paper based off the funding based on the finding and the above, we propose distinct policy part from the short and the long term. In the short term, banks should be optimized profitability, especially ROA and NIM, by improving operational efficiency and diversify revenue stream. Credit and deposit strategy must be refined to ensure funding stability. Whereas in the long term, strengthening capital adequacy ratio, managing interest rate risk, and implementing robust risk management framework are crucial. Digitalization, cybersecurity, and HR capacity building are also essential to ensure that adaptive, resilient banking operation in the face of tomorrow's shock. Now we are going to the last part. We talk about the conclusion and recommendation. As the conclusion, this paper, we conclude that our FHCM analysis confirmed that long-term variable, especially macroeconomic and structural indicator, play a vital role in determining asset growth, with stronger effect observed under KBMI regime. The KBMI transition reflects Indonesian effort to build more resilient capital-based banking system compared to the Buku and KBMI categories provide a stronger shock, resilient, and recovery capability as support by impulse response function result. This confirms that the regulatory shift to KBMS is more than procedural. It represents the structural transformation towards stability and capital-based banking strength. This is talk about the conclusion. Now we are going the last part. What is the recommendation? Based on our finding in this paper, we recommend as the follow. First, bank has to take action. Bank have to strengthen the core capital and risk framework, and the regulator side have to promote consolidation and digital transformation. For policymakers have to ensure the coordination across monetary, fiscal, and regulatory front. Moreover, adoption of technology innovation, strengthening cyber resilience, support by component of HR and adaptive government and supervisory reform are very neat and crucial to support the banking in Indonesia. The strategy should align with the Indonesian banking development policy 2020-2025, especially the pillars of the structural strength, digital transformation, economic contribution, and supervisory enhancement that had already to introduce by regulator banking in Indonesia. I think that is my presentation. That is all of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.